You've already figured it out by now. The rents are too dang high.
Because the rent is too damn high.
Remember that guy out in New York who's running for the rent's too dang high party? Yeah, well, the rents are getting too dang high, and I'm sure if you're out there, you have realized how bad rents have gotten nationwide and in Las Vegas especially. Las Vegas is now number 3 in the nation for rent increases, and now Las Vegas rentals are 50% higher. Now Las Vegas rentals are 50% higher than the national average. Things have gotten a little bit out of hand, I would say. And so today we're going to go over what's going on in the rental market. Most importantly, if you can, you should be buying a house now instead of making your landlord rich. Before we get too far, if you haven't met me before, my name is Eric. My call sign is Nuke, and I live out in lovely Las Vegas, and my goal is to help you in your housing dreams. Now, in order for me to help you, you can also help some other folks. Hit that like button below. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. And if you're not a subscriber, I would really appreciate if you were to subscribe to this channel. According to CoreLogic, nationwide, rents have gone up over the last year from September 2020 to September of this year, 10.2%. But here in Las Vegas, rents have gone up 15.9%. That's 50% higher than the rest of the nation. Do you know why? It's easy. We have a housing shortage. Right now, trying to put someone into a rental unit, especially a nice home, has become a daunting task. And if you can, you should look at all of your options, because you're renting a home that was probably purchased by the landlord several years ago for 1/3 the price of the current houses that are on the market. Now, you're saying, well, maybe it's a little bit cheaper for me right now to rent instead of buy. Well, let's see what's going on and see if you want to change your mind about this and find a way to put more net worth in your pocket. Because remember, the net worth of a homeowner is always going to be much higher than the net worth of someone who just rents. With the current status of the housing market, housing just keeps going up, and we have a shortage of almost 5.5 million homes, which means there is no bubble like back in 2007 and 2008. Right now, the average vacancy rate of a rental is at 25-year lows, which gives permission for landlords to raise those lease payments. So you're going to continue to pay more and more as the housing crisis gets worse. Can you imagine paying whatever that price is this year, and another 10 or 15% the year after that, another 10 or 15% the year after that, where you could be like your landlord who purchased a house maybe for $150,000 and to be able to go and sell it for $450,000 right now. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be able to sell a house for $450,000 that I paid $150,000 for and put $300,000 in my pocket. You are making your landlord rich. Why not make yourself rich? So let's go ahead and go over the numbers so you can see what's going on. To try to make this fair, let's go to something that is completely objective, the multiple listing service. Now, here in the Las Vegas area, most, if not all, it's not all, but most single family homes are listed in the MLS just like you're buying a home. Here in the state of Nevada, unlike other states, in order to be a property manager, you must be a real estate agent. So it creates a kind of unique market. So I can actually go out and see what rentals are doing right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the number one, so what we have to start looking at is what is the median rent here in Las Vegas. We're not going to go into averages because that's a lot of calculations. It's easy to find the median. You just take the highest, lowest difference between the two. I got my median. So right now, the median rent in Las Vegas is $2,200. So let's start seeing kind of what you're getting for that $2,200. Kind of need to know that, right? So we're just going to look at photos and such. haven't gone through this, kind of doing it live. So let's look at this place. It's 1,900 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage. So looking, we got something that's really nice here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Looks like they've gone in, taken care of the carpets and everything. Let's go to another random one. So a lot of 2,200, that's a median. So let's look at this one. A little over 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage. This is what we're getting. So now we've looked at what the median rentals are. Well, let's go look at the median homes. So this month, as we speak, the median home in Las Vegas is selling for $410,000. Now, if you were to go purchase a home, let's go see what you would be getting. So what I did is I looked at the last 30 days and I pulled everything within that magical range that actually sold over the last 30 days. So let's just look at a random one here. Let's look at this one. It's a 1-story, 1,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, or as you were, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now, one thing to consider is single stories sell for significantly more than a 2-story home. Okay, let's look at a 2-story that's around 2,000 square feet. Look, this is 406,000. Let's look at it. Very nice. So you could have something more like this in good shape for that median price. So let's go in and let's look at the numbers. Now, we already know what we get when you take a rental. It's $2,200, right? Let's look at our mortgage. So using 410, and so we have different types of loans. You could either be conventional, VA, FHA. A lot of people are doing 3% for their loans right now. So I put in 3%. Interest rate around 3%, assuming you have great credit. And what are our numbers? Look at this, 21.25. So you could own this for 21.25, and then you have all of the great things in home ownership, which includes possibly a tax deduction. This rate, you may not get it. Talk to your accountant. You are looking at being able to do whatever you want with that home, and you now have a piggy bank that will grow with time, making yourself rich instead of your landlord. And now you go, well, hey, wait a minute. I got you. I'm looking at it, and I got to put down that down payment. I have got to pay my closing costs. You are correct. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and saying that, oh, you could possibly get closing costs from the seller. Right now, housing market's tight, rental market's tight. So let's talk about what your actual upfront costs are in a rental. So let's just take this one for example. So let's look at your cost for going into a nice rental. This rental, they're asking for $2,200 a month. Is that your cost to get into it? No. You start off, you need to have your first month's rent. Fortunately, they don't do first and last here. It's first and a security. And you've got to have $2,500 for your security deposit. If you have a pet, that's another $300 if they're not doing it per pet. There's a key deposit of $50. There's a cleaning fee that you have to pay up front of $300. And every adult that will be living there has to have their credit run. So even if you have a child that's with you that's 18 years old, they have got to get their credit run for you to be able to live here. Now, what does all this add up to? It adds up to almost the 3%. So now you just have to worry about your closing cost. Now, closing cost on a house in this range is going to run you about $4,000 if you're with the right lender who's not charging you origination fees, points, and stuff like that. So now you just have to come up with about $4,000. Okay. Here's a nice little thing to think about. That rental, you had to pay all of that up front. Guess what? When you purchase a home, your first mortgage payment is not due for 1 to 2 months. That's kind of is built into your closing cost, which means in reality, on this $2,200 a month median priced home, your cash outlay going into it is only going to be about $2,000 more than a rental. When I say that, it's because you don't have to pay that first month's rent. Remember, you got to pay that month's rent for a rental, then you got to pay the following month and the month after that. Everything works out right. You may not pay your mortgage for 2 months, but let's just say everything's not going to work out right. You're not going to pay your mortgage until the second month you're there, which means if with $4,000 in closing cost and your down payment, your out-of-pocket fees will only be a few $1,000s when you round everything up. And on top of that, a year from now, based on the current housing market, you're going to have another $40,000 in appreciation. That's $40,000 of net worth to you. So when you look at it, buying is much better to make yourself rich than your landlord. And you know what else makes you rich? Looking at some of the other videos that I have for you, and also clicking that like button below. See you guys.